Winter is coming and it's time to move my worms. The reason why I'm moving my worms is because of the cold winters that we can get up here in Sweden. And I want to make sure that the worms and their eggs can survive the winter. And to make sure that they don't freeze, I will move them to my compost piles that I have directly on the ground. By having the pile directly on the ground, it will have less surface area that can be cooled by the air. My bathtub where I have the worms right now is raised off the ground and is fully exposed to the cold air and will freeze much faster than the pile that I have on the ground. You might wonder why I have my worms raised off the ground if it means that they will freeze during the winter. Well, that's mostly due to the benefits that come with being able to drain the worm tea out of the tub, or the worm pee, which I use to fertilize my garden beds. So I have stopped feeding my worms for a while now, just so that it will be easier to handle the worm castings now that I'm going to move the worms and take care of all the castings. As you can see, they have turned all the food and garden waste into nutritious, rich worm castings. And I have already moved some worms to my other composts, but now I'm going to clear out the bathtub completely and remove all the worms and castings. There's a lot of baby worms in here, which is great. I'm pretty happy with the repopulation rate. I had to make a new hot compost, however, just because I noticed that they couldn't quite keep up with all the food that I was giving them. So next year I can definitely make another worm compost, or one that is larger than the one I have right now. I have checked up on the worms that I already moved, and they seem to like it in the old hot composts. So I really hope that they will thrive there during the winter and that I will have lots of worms when the spring comes, when it's time to make another worm compost. The worm castings will be used right away. I'm planting some garlic and other crops that will love these castings. So to conclude the first year with a worm compost, I'm really pleased and I will definitely continue with this. I have made a few mistakes and learned a lot from them. And I will definitely try to have better drainage in my next worm compost, so it doesn't get too wet and anaerobic. So I'm really looking forward to the next year to make a bigger and better worm compost. I hope you found this video interesting and I hope to see you in my next one.